Okay, you miserable bastards. Today I will be ranking fitness influencers based on the advice they give. That includes training, diet, and certain life advice in general if they provide it. Uh, I mainly have the same influencers from last time, but I also added a few more just so it's not as repetitive. Let's break down the tiers real quick. The best of the influencers goes to listen to them, which means that they have outstanding advice. Their ratio of good advice to bad is incredible. Next, we have good advice, or just, you know, still a good ratio, but nothing too extraordinary. Then it goes knows the important basics, which means that they themselves don't really get into it too much. Therefore, their advice is pretty simple but also good. Then it's take with a grain of salt, is where advice quality may vary. You know, maybe decent on one end and not so good on the other. Then we have avoid for the most part, which basically means that um, most advice they give is not great. Let's just put it like that. And then plug your ears is to do not listen to them, even if they may say one or two good things. You are better off without them. Now, after spending 2 minutes of yapping and doing nothing but explaining shit that is obvious, let's start. First, we got Alex Eubank. Recently, he has been making more like. I don't know. I don't watch his YouTube, but he does pop up for me on Insta. He mainly gives some business advice and things how to blow up in social media and stuff like that. And generally, that is good advice. Now, you may be asking, bro, you have like 30 subs. How do you know if that's good advice? And I say, it's none of your fucking business, dumbass. All right, he is going to good advice. Some things I don't know, he doesn't really understand too well himself, but in general, a good ratio of advice. Next, we have Pro D Shreds. I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch his YouTube. I watched like one video recently. I don't know what he says. The one thing I remember was on Insta. He said, to basically don't treat your cheat days as just going crazy with the calories, as it will offset your progress for a bunch of time, which is true. That is great advice. And instead, he suggests that if you really want to eat anything, try to fit within your calories, but for that they ignore the macros. And I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty good advice. Sometimes it's not that big of a deal if you mess up your macros, but if you stay within your calories, you can just go back on track the next day and you will be perfectly fine. So it's kind of not fair to put him high up since I don't know much of what he says, but I will put him in the same tier as Alex Eubank, because I mean, look at him. He looks like he knows what he's talking about. Okay, Sibam. Now, obviously, I'm gonna put him in the highest tier possible, simply because, of course, he is a multiple time Mr. Olympia. Obviously, he knows what he is talking about. Now, some advice you would be taking with a grain of salt, but not how I explain this specific tier. What I mean by that is he may not specifically say sometimes that, hey, this is what really worked for me, so it might not be working for you. So for that reason, yeah, I know it's annoying to keep repeating the same things when you are giving out advice, but sometimes he kind of overemphasizes on what works for him, and it kind of sounds like he's, maybe I'm probably tripping. It doesn't even matter, because that still keeps him in the highest tier. Just forget everything I just said. Next we have Chris. I want to put Chris and Mike in the same tier. Obviously, they kind of ride on the same things. Pause. The Trent twins, yeah, they do make a lot of jokes about, taking steroids and doing things that the average individual should definitely stay away from, and they know it, and they emphasize it when they're not joking, but most of the time they're joking. However, if you look at the way they train, if you look at the way they lock in with their diet, sometimes they know what it takes. Therefore, I will put both of them at the important basics, which is to train hard, get your protein in, count your calories, and so on and so on. Next, we have David Lade. The problem here is I can't really remember the last time I heard him give any fitness advice. That's on me. But the most recent clip of him saying that, oh, I don't go to failure because I have to save my fuel for the rest of the workout. Yeah, that clip alone, I know it's annoying to hear it again, but that's gonna bump him down. So I'm gonna say take with a grain of salt, because yes, clearly he has great genetics and he used them well to build a physique that he has, but nothing extraordinary, and it's just, you are better off basically finding other people to listen to. Next up we have, I think this is Greg Doucette. Now, he's a problematic individual. Sometimes he says some great shit in the comment sections, he reposts stuff, he mentions stuff, he talks about stuff that's like should be mentioned, and for a guy of this caliber, the platform he has, he has definitely influenced a lot of people in a good way. However, those worthless testosterone fucking promotions and some other shit, and those accusations of natty are not, which I know is not part of the advice, but it conflicts with what the basics are and what science says about health and fitness. So for that reason, I'm gonna say good advice. I mean, even if some of what he says is not great, if you listen to most of the things that he would tell you, I think you will build a really good physique and you will have good health. I mean, he's what, coach, used to compete. He knows what he's doing. I can't hate. Next is Jeff Nippert, and that's gonna be to listen to them. My problem is not with him, but what other influencers, some of them, and what the audience does. People don't understand his content. People think that just because he's like super science-based, that everything he says, people think that he thinks that is the ultimate advice. which is not the case. So the hate for Jeff and his advice is unjustified. But every time he comes up with a banger video after banger video after banger video, and every time it's just peak advice. It's great. He is exploring different exercises, different ways of training. What else could you want for a guy of this caliber to do, to then come up with the best advice he can to give you? He's one of the best there is, and one of the best we will ever have. Next we have Jesse James West. Well, he's not really one to give advice. Recently he launched his coaching program with that's like massive. Team Relentless or something, I don't remember. So clearly he worked on it to get people with great advice, and he will be included in it as well. And he will learn and he will give advice, and people will succeed. And obviously for his physique and what he does and what he has tried, he knows what he's doing. But on some podcast I saw a few second clip, so that's on me. He said, like, I don't know, he mentioned, food full of chemicals, even though people don't even know what that means, but they fear it because they don't understand it. Welcome to health in 2026. I'm pretty sure he also scared of seed oils, so for that I'm gonna say he knows the important basics. Next we have Larry Wheels. What advice does he give? I don't even know. I'm gonna say avoid for the most part, especially in the recent years. My goodness, what a fall off. I mentioned this in the last video. I have to mention it again, and I will keep mentioning it again. Lean beef patty. Honestly, I'm gonna put knows the important basics. I think she has built her brand and herself on the most basics there are, and it just shows that you don't need to be like super into health and fitness from the scientific perspective and just to learn new things every single day to succeed in building your dream physique and even brand if you want. She shows it perfectly, she knows the basics, and she rolls on it. Great. Lex Little, similar thing to the Trent Twins, a little bit more grounded on average. But again, I'm not the biggest watcher of Lex, so I can't really say too much. But so therefore, I will put him in those the important basics. The same idea with the Trent Twins, but like I said, a little bit more grounded and less retarded. Yes, I said the word, and I will say it again in the future. Next, we have Noel Diesel. One of the GOATs, man. Like, I want to meet him one day for sure. Like, he's an icon, okay? The guy is big. He understands the younger generation more than most people his age. I'm not saying he's old. I'm just saying how it is, So I'm gonna put him in the highest tier. Like, I really have no complaints at all. Paul Saladino. Fuck carnivores. Fuck fear-mongering. Fuck all that bullshit that he is associated to. I do not want to have anything to do with this guy. I had to. Bro, before starting this video, I looked him up, downloaded the image, and put it in my files. Not those files. And then put it in this tier list just to put him here and make a point. I do not like him and what he says. Yeah, he has some good advice. He understands, the importance of animal-based food and fucking fruit, I guess, more recently, but like 5-year-olds know that, so no, just plug your ears, man. Sam Sulek. Now, diet advice has definitely improved, and his own diet has improved. He's still learning. He's low key in this field, but I feel like he's a bit too low key because he has a big platform, and I feel like if you're gonna, give advice on stuff like that, it's just, I don't know. Uh, Training advice, good overall. I mean, he loves it more than a lot of influencers, not gonna lie, so he will always bring in his fullest. He's gonna train until failure. He's gonna train however much he wants because it works for him. Life advice, peak. So for that, I'm gonna say good advice. He's getting close up here, but not quite yet. Maybe a few years shy. Sarah Safari, again, same case with Jesse James West. She just doesn't really give it. She's more of an entertainment influencer. Especially recently, she has admitted that her own diet is off. She kind of doesn't know what the fuck is going on. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. For that, I'm gonna say knows the important basics, because I mean, she has a physique that is built on the basics. So it's like, now, yeah, it's kind of hypocritical to say that. Okay, well, why is David Lade tier below? And to that I say, this is my tier list. I do what I want. Look, you can disagree and tell me in the comments what you think. That's fine. I would be glad if you would comment something and leave a like at least. If you're watching 17 minutes in, that would be surprising. Anyway, next we have Sean. I won't try to pronounce his last name. I don't wanna, because I hate mispronouncing names. Top tier. He knows the basics and he knows more, and he builds on it, and he still sticks with the basics and he promotes it. Let's fucking go, bro. Low volume training, he's the pinnacle of it. After Mike Menser, this is him. The man is huge. He knows what he's talking about every time, and it's fun to listen to. Next, we have Sills. Not much of a training advice guy, but again, the guy is also huge, and his diet advice is peak. If you want to learn more about vitamins, minerals, fiber, just great foods that you can make that will also help you easily get your micronutrient goals, he is the guy to do it. Absolutely. I want to say listen to him. Luki MC, more of an entertainment influencer here, but the advice he gives with his girl, with the missus, honestly incredible. So I'm gonna say good advice. I need to hear him more on the diet and training advice. I feel like most of what he knows has been through the coaches he had. So I would like to see more of his own opinions and stuff, but I mean, I don't have anything to complain. TNF, again, incredible. Training, diet, just studies, like everything. He is probably the most equipped fitness influencer there fucking is. Just never misses. Except that one guy on TikTok who I think is like, he said himself that his biggest achievement is proving TNF wrong on something. I wasn't there to witness it, but I'm just gonna take his word for it. Well, I mean, that will never put TNF in a lower tier ever. And last but not least, we have Tenny. Similar situation with Sarah and Jesse. A little bit more towards like more advice. Uh, I think he still knows the basics and he builds on it. I know he knows more, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it. I was gonna put someone else in here to go with this guy down here, but I think you can have an idea on who that could possibly be. But that's the tier list. Would I change anything else? Anything right now? No. Not gonna lie. I think this tier list is good. You could, okay, the biggest argument is like put David Layden here at least. I'm not gonna do it. Also partially because I want all of these tiers to be used, and I don't know. He's more of an icon than you know what I mean. So that's the tier list. Let me know what you think and get out of here.